Today, we're going to talk about 3 things that every worship leader should be doing before they lead worship. Let's go. What's going on, fam? My name is Michael, and I help worship leaders grow spiritually and practically so that they can lead worship more effectively. And today we're going to talk about 3 things that every worship leader should be doing before they grab the mic to lead worship. Now, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you my pre-service prep that has 6 steps on it, including these 3 that I'm going to talk about today. And it's going to help you to be more effective before you even grab a mic, before you jump on your instrument to lead worship. Let's jump into today's discussion. So the very first thing that every worship leader should be doing before they grab a mic, before they show up at the church, before they grab their instrument, the number one thing that you should be doing is spending adequate time in the presence of God. Now, I'm not just talking about a 5-minute prayer or a quick prayer while you're trying to hurry up and drive to church. I'm talking about going into your secret place, going into your closet, or going into your room, or wherever you are, to pray and seek the face of God. Worship leaders, you should be spending at least a minimum of 30 minutes in the presence of God, praying, reading your word, worshiping, communing, talking, communicating with God. And you should be allowing that time to refuel you, to refresh you, and to renew you. When you spend time in the presence of God, your cup begins to be filled and you begin to run over. And the great thing about running over is your private worship begins to spill over into your public leading of worship. That's the great thing I love about spending time with God, is he begins to fill me up so much so that I begin to run over. And when I lead worship, I'm not running from an empty cup. I'm not leading from an empty cup. I'm leading from the overflow of his presence, an overflow of his power, and an overflow from the connection that me and Jesus has. The second thing that every worship leader should be doing before they lead worship is they should be leading their team in worship. I see a lot of us, when we have our rehearsals, we focus a lot on music, we focus a lot on the lyrics, we focus a lot on making sure that the harmony is in tight, making sure that the band is playing the right melodies, but you need to lead your team into worship. Before you guys get on the stage, before you come before the people, you guys have to come together as a great team, as a family of worship, and begin to worship and magnify the name of God. Because whatever you do in practice, that's what's going to show up on the stage when you begin to lead worship. So if your team has no stamina in worship, if your team has no outward expression of worship, when Sunday comes or whenever you lead worship comes, it's gonna show. So you, as a worship leader, you want to take your team behind closed doors in your rehearsals or however you want to do, and you want to spend time worshiping, praying, and just magnifying the name of God together. Now let's get into the last thing that every worship leader should be doing before they lead worship. And remember, if you stick around to the end, I'm going to give you my pre-service prep checklist. And this checklist has these steps that I'm going over plus 3 more that's going to help you lead worship more effectively even before the service starts. All right. So the last thing that every worship leader should be doing, and again, I visit churches all the time, I mentor worship leaders all the time, and I'm finding out that we are not doing sound checks. Sound checks is the backbone of having an effective worship set. Here's why. Because if the sound isn't right, if the music isn't right, if everything isn't cohesively working together, during your worship set, you're going to spend more time trying to figure out what's going wrong than actually engaging and worshiping God. So you want to do sound checks. You want to make sure that your mic is working properly. You want to make sure that the band can hear themselves properly. The singers can hear themselves properly. Sound check is very important to leading worship. If this video has blessed you, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe so that you can get a notification anytime we drop a new video. And just as promised, I'm going to give you my pre-service prep checklist. And again, this checklist has 6 tips on it that you can use right now to help you to lead worship more effectively even before you step on the stage. Now, this pre-service checklist is included in a huge bundle called my Worship Leader Toolkit. This toolkit includes how to lead worship confidently, how to find songs for your church, how to lead worship effectively, and again, the pre-service prep is in it as well. I'm telling you, this thing is valuable and you can use it right now. Just go to my website, michaeleagle.com/toolkit to get access to it. I pray that this video has blessed you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.